Hi, I wanted to go over your first thumbnails for your aerial perspective, atmospheric perspective, landscape slash cityscape slash oceanscape, whatever it is that you selected. The picture is designed to begin the process of creating depth because it has overlap, it has a value shift, it has things getting smaller as they go away, in some cases blurry, but it's black and white. So what you're going to do is reinterpret the subject based upon your knowledge of color systems and techniques using watercolor. Range of saturation, you're going to decide where the warm and cool hues go, and you're going to use techniques such as drip down, drip on, drip in front, drip behind and drip between, glazing, cauliflowers, wet and wet, uncontrolled, then lift out, then controlled wet and wet, blending, even steps, dry brush, and even wash. So all of these are factors in your composition. So it's a lot to do because you're not only dealing with the rendering of the subject, but also creating depth and yet saving white. And most of those pictures have solid black everywhere. So solid black is an opportunity to do solid white, almost like a silhouette. But you're going to want to be doing some thumbnails, especially at the beginning. Make a bunch of squares. You do this with pencil. If you do it on watercolor paper, you can use watercolor washes. If not, you can just do it in colored pencil. But let's say you have, let me think of one that comes to mind. Maybe something like this. Like a building or something going back. And then there'll be some kind of a horizon line, maybe something in the background, maybe small things getting smaller. You might see something like something really up close, like a tree or something. Maybe something here, and then something gets smaller here. It doesn't matter what it is. It just matters that you're going to be creating that distance and depth. If you use more pressure at the front when you're drawing, that will help immediately create a sense of depth just in line quality. So I'm pressing hard at the front, and you can see already that helps a lot. And then, you know, you've got some things that are solid that you might want to leave white. Like let's say in this picture this is black. What if I leave this white? And what if this is black? I'll leave that white. And then we're going to strategize hue. Neutrals and local color is really, really key. If you want to refer to some imagery to get those colors in your mind, earth tones and the neutrals. And then we want to decide on the value shift. If I leave the road white, then this would not be good white. So if I leave this white, I would leave the road a different color. Make the color. Now saturation is a big thing. So another thing too is side to side. Am I using marks like that? And are they cool? And do they get thicker as they come forward, which is really helpful? Is the saturation changing as they approach? In other words, I'm deciding on my value shift. As I'm going here, I'm doing lighter to darker. And I'm adding more saturation. And I'm gonna go a little darker. Now, it's a lot harder to make cool work up front than in the back. It's possible. So I could switch this and go cool to warm. Maybe I would do that on another thumbnail. But I'm going the other way. I'm just feeling it for some reason. I'm gonna go more blue up here. More purpley blue. Like blue violet. Getting a lot thicker in my distances from there. So this is maybe I'll go all the way down. So I'm starting to see, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to use dry brush? Am I going to use, am I going to let white show through here? Am I going to get really dark here without going oversaturated? I could do like 5 of these to get to a place where, so in this case, I'm definitely doing a value shift. I haven't decided on temperature. I might switch it up, but I definitely want to get dark in the front because I have these light things in the front. So this will come through here. That's solid. So, okay, so maybe I found one thing. Like I found that I want to go dark to light. So maybe that. So that's kind of even wash. Actually, it's more like wet and wet. This could be glazing. How about this? When that fully dries, I can go a glaze on top when it's dry. Now I've got glazing. I've even got back runs. I can put a little technique in there because we want it to look like watercolor. And then the sky, maybe like a blue. Of course, this is the one palette that I don't have blue, but I'll use this. So maybe I want to limit my palette, make it more monochromatic. Maybe I'll go lighter saturation there. So look what I have already. Glazing, value shift. I've got an uncontrolled cauliflower. And I'm starting to look at temperature. I'm thinking I need to go more the other direction. I'm going to do more red and go into cool. I feel like it wasn't working. But now I have even more of that wash. I could also do a little wet and wet blending in the sky. But I'm just being very conscious of where I'm leaving white. I could also do, let's say, I mean, you don't want to go crazy with technique, but you want to just try out different things. Like, what if I do some dry brush with like some kind of an orange? Like, dry brush. And I'm keeping my hues controlled, so that they're more sophisticated. I can always come back later and do something really crazy, but we want to build to there. Like, what if I do something like whatever this is? Maybe I'll make it really bright red, and then maybe have it get darker as it goes back, or vice versa. What if it's here like that, and then less there? Can even let it run together like that. But these are the thumbnails. These are just the thumbnails, and I want to decide what else I'm going to fill in. What am I going to do here? How am I going to create depth? And then do a series of these. I don't like that thing, but do a series so that you have several entries and see if they start to get deep. Main thing is consider where the white's going to go. You don't want to fill everything. You might leave the whole mountain in the back white. Just strategic.